Hi, Sagittarius. I'm just figuring, since Jupiter's in your sign and you're just slowly and steadily moving upward, that you could afford to be last. But since you guys feel a way about it, you can be second to last. I really don't think Capricorn minds. I didn't think you guys minded either, but let's get to that. So slowly, that Jupiter influence is moving into all parts of your life. If you were thinking, okay, it's definitely making my career great, what about my love life? It's here. Good times. The Sun, Mercury, Venus, all moving through your sector of relationships and interpersonal relationships. Fantastic. You could get married. You could find out you're pregnant. You could meet someone that you want to marry right away. Love is in the air. So what do you do when love's in the air? You prep. How do you prep? Get on your game. Are you working out or are you too busy to work out? Are you wearing the right stuff for your body? Does your self-image match with what's going on the outside? It's a good time to look at it because you want to take a look at how you present. What else? Yeah, something very stable, something very, very real. You meet the person and you're like, no, I actually really think this could be the one. I'm not getting carried away. I'm not looking at it as some abstract ideal that I would like. No, this is someone tangible. This is a connection that seems very plausible. And it might come out of nowhere for some of you just because a lot of you, and this is a sentiment we've talked about before, have just kind of given up on the relationship thing. But that's always how it happens. It's when you give up that things happen. Let go or be dragged. All right. Actually, I think it's the same group of cards that was like sticking to other cards before. Here we go. Page of Pentacles and the Empress. If you're dealing with an earth sign, they're coming up really, really strong as someone who wants to really provide for you and thinks very highly of you. I'm just not sure. If this is someone from your past, I think you should wait for somebody new. Let's put it that way. Knight of Cups, Two of Swords. If you have a proposal from the past that you're unsure about, but we'll look more at it. King of Wands, Six of Pentacles. I like this. I like seeing you in a position of power. And then if you're dealing with a fire sign, it looks like you are still the one who is in a position of power. Fantastic. Love that. I'd be careful with that beginning there. Like I say, every month, all the little users and opportunists will continue to come out of the woodwork. All the fuckboys will continue to circle back around because they can smell blood in the water. They can smell success. They know that you're going places. So if you're feeling Two of Swordsy about any of these page, knight figures, people who are pledging their love to you, people who are trying to get to know you, if this is someone from the past who's trying again, I would say hold off. I think there are much better things coming up for you. Nine of Cups, Five of Wands, Ace of Wands, and the Emperor. Okay. So Nine of Cups. Nine of Cups. Did I say Wands? Sorry. Nine of Cups, Six of Wands. So what's that? Your feelings get a little rattled towards the middle of the month, but there's an opportunity in it, especially if you aggressively focus on self now. If you focus on promoting something, be it a product, your business, your friend's company, something you're working with, affiliated with, it will do very, very well. The opportunity is in the I am. So wherever you are coming from self, something you've been working on, something Nine of Cups that gives you a lot of joy, something that perhaps has caused some confusion and loss of boundaries with others just because you've been spending so much of your time with it, may have caused some conflict. Whatever it is, it's very beneficial for you. So if people start to tell you that you shouldn't be focusing on self, no, you really, really need to be focusing on self, because all your opportunities are going to come out of that self-promotion. Now, when it's, you know, couched that way, a self-promotion, do you guys necessarily gravitate towards it? No, but that's what it is. And you got to be honest with yourself. You can portray it however you want. You can make it as cool as you want, but it is still self-promotion, and it's necessary and it's needed. One of the only things I can see standing in your way when you have such good love luck going on is to, for some reason or other, get stuck in this past and wish those cups were full again, when you could instead just be looking at the Six of Cups and going, hey, I remember what that was like. Excuse me. I remember what that was like, and I know that I can have that again. So why don't I get comfortable with that feeling? Some of you may also be thinking, oh, that connection that I had, especially with that earth sign, that's the only time I'm ever going to feel that way. I'm never going to feel that way again. You will feel that way again if you let yourself. And if you let yourself give into it, there is much, much, much opportunity here. Wow. I mean, this is now part of the extended, but when I tell you that underneath the letting go of this that just didn't work is all this. Once again, I think the blocks are being revealed for you guys. Like, it's one thing to have so many obstacles that you don't know what to do. It's another thing to be able to pick out exactly where your obstacles are, because you can feel yourself being held back. You are starting to feel like, whatever that connection was or wasn't, I really want something new and better and stable where I'm like treated in a certain way and my feelings are safe. Towards the middle of the month, you have to be responsible for your feelings. You have to keep your feelings safe. Why? Because there's going to be a little retrograde action going on, and it's in a place where some misunderstandings could be caused. If you, I know I said focus on self, self-promotion, but not too assertively. Like, if you go ham and just because you're that mutable fire and once you start running, you're galloping, if you go too hard at this, it's not going to work either. You're going to put people off. So yes, self-promotion, but done not in the Aries way. Do it with the subtlety of a Sagittarius. Well, what's the subtlety of a Sagittarius? Good question. I think the subtlety of a Sagittarian lies in their power. When you quietly wield power and don't excessively run your mouth, for example, what you say holds a lot more weight. So in the spirit of self-promotion this month, say quality stuff, say it to the right people, get your message, your product, your company, your new idea, your new channel, your new anything, get it out there, get it moving, get it working. And I would say just tell the right people. Don't tell everybody, tell the right people. And what does that mean? It means people that support you. It means people that you can be assertive with, that won't be like, hey, you're being a little much. Anyone, okay, let's put it this way. Anyone who thinks you're being a little much just when you're being normal doesn't want to be around you in April. And not to get too in your business, but anyone who thinks you're being a bit much, why are they around you at all? I get aggressively like worked up. I get angry about that particular one because it's abusive, because it's a form of keeping people down. However, if you use that to edit yourself in a positive and healthy way, instead of judging yourself and say, okay, I'm just going to dial it back a little because this month my energy is going to be a bit stronger than I would like. This month, the faucet is a little bit loose. So you open it a little and it just, it starts rushing. So you have to be real careful with it. Good. Apply that to your words and your actions. Right? What else? 9 of Cups, 6 of Wands is also about feeling really good. Feeling like you're in a space where you're like, yeah, good. Things working out. And then Maybe because you let that Page of Pentacles in. Maybe because you believe that Knight of Cups. Really, honestly, the past has no place here. Because all it's going to do is confuse you, and it's going to keep legitimately great opportunities from you. If you meet in Aries towards the end of the month, if you are dealing with somebody new already and you're already in that Three of Pentacles, like, oh, you're late, we're already getting married, this is the person I'm going to be with, great. Now you have to make sure, one, your exes don't come back and ruin it. Two, you don't get so ahead of yourself that you start dominating everything. Okay, if you're already in an established marriage and you're having some bumpy times, it looks again like people from your past might be trying to take advantage of that, but it also seems like you're reminiscing a little too much about the past and not living in the moment. So if you are going through troubling times in your relationship, towards the third week of April, it's a very high chance that you could be fighting about your feelings. And if you're fighting about your feelings, then it's probably because you don't feel like you're being heard. And if you don't feel like you're being heard, just know that you're not reading the situation right, because you not being heard is impossible. So really, you are just feeling that way. Now it's time to figure out, why are you feeling that way? It's easier for a Sagittarian to say, hey, I'm saying all this stuff, you're not hearing it, you're not implementing it, you're treating me like I'm not here, than it is to say, your lack of recognition really hurts me. Not the easiest thing, but I think in some ways here, Sagittarian needs a pat on the back, like you've been doing. If you're in a relationship already, you're looking for that, like, is someone going to tell me I'm doing a good job? If you're not in a relationship, don't get back into something with someone who made you feel that way. Now things change for Sagittarians in terms of love. A new mood sets in. And no matter how much that old mood tries to catch up with you, it will not win. So don't worry about it. Just move forward. And if you're worried that when you move forward, all you're going to do is think about the past, not to be harsh, but yeah, if you want to, you can spend the rest of your life wasting time if you want to do that. You know? If that past was so great, it wouldn't be your past. You know, for whatever reason, we are where we are right now, and that's what April wants you to look at. Where are you right now? What do you need right now? What do we need to do right now to get you into a place where you feel like you're secure, you have a partner, your money situation is good, you are pooling finances, you want to get into a partnership, and the timing is impeccable. Like I said, keep the ghosts of the past away. Keep this indecision and insecurity out of your head. We know now that this is a card of destruction, self-destructive, right? Seems innocuous enough, but if you really look at it, isn't it scary? Why is she doing that to herself? Because nobody else is doing it to her. You know what I mean? Like, nobody's doing that. Nobody's got her hands tied. Nobody... Like, she literally tied that blindfold on herself and then picked up those swords and was like, I'm just going to sit here in this dilemma for a while. So it's scary from the outside because it's like, dog, what are you doing? Don't do that. Because if you start gravitating towards anything that's either like the past, like if you meet someone who's very much like someone who was abusive to you, if you meet someone who's very much like an old colleague, an old roommate or something where you're like, oh, this reminds me of the past. If you meet someone new like that, stay away. Don't consider it. Don't even, don't go there in your head. No need to relive that. Moving forward, knowing what you are, knowing what you deserve. Yeah, it's going to cause a little friction, but that's fine. That's fine. What's not fine is staying in mediocre situations that are beneath you. You know? And hopefully, moving past that shows the universe that you are ready for your equal. Someone who can match you. Someone you can have fun with. Legit have fun with. Now, if you're thinking, I don't want anything to do with relationships, I'm not in an established one, I don't want to get into a new one. Okay, tell me about the money. Well, Page of Pentacles is letting you know right there that even though money is there, it's slow. Might even be less than you were hoping for, but it's okay, it's just 1 month. It will pick back up towards the middle of May, so expense accordingly. Don't buy anything big right now, just so you don't have to stress for the rest of the month. And unnecessarily picking a fight with someone who obviously likes to fight, who's like ruthless in this game, just don't. Even if your pride is like, no, that person deserves it, I really should do that. No, just don't. Just don't. And when people are like, huh? You're not going to check that person? Nope. I'm not checking nobody this month. Nope. Saving up all that good karma for that wonderful connection. Now, if that's not a love connection, it could very easily be a creative connection. So if you're working on something creative, also keep your eyes open, keep your karma clear. Something big coming that you can then promote. See, it was so good. I don't know what you guys were worried about. Love you. Okay, see you in a moment. Oh yeah, finally got the connect on these rings. As you can tell, I'm wearing new ones today. So it's a store in Denmark called Ganesha, and I'm gonna put their information below, and I think we're gonna collab. Yay, love you. Aries season guided meditation below, and an ancestor meditation from the podcast is below as well. Hi, Sag. Reading at sunset? Anybody? Anybody? Okay, let's look at it. So, you might be upset that the Capricorn reading went up before yours. I think if anyone has the right to be upset, it's Virgo, because their reading is so bright and almost unintelligible, and I'm really not sure what that's about, but it totally ties into their reading. And then I started thinking about your reading and how having to wait totally ties into your reading. Pleasure delayer. Pleasure delayer is what this reading should be called, and I'll tell you why. Because it's finally time for your love life to turn around. So of course you're going to try to create potholes where there are none, just to, it's going to sound weird, but slow down the process. See, that sounds counterintuitive, like, no, come on, I'm a Sag, I just want to speed things up. Yeah, sure you do, until it's 3 of Pentacles. You know, I don't think Sag is in a rush to get here ever. Sounds great. But now it's coming, now it's coming to fruition. Now it's actually happening. Now those moments are presenting themselves. Now things get going. You and Capricorn, you're both going through this. So if you have a Capricorn in your life who is all of a sudden being really, really serious, if they feel like you feel, oh no, now it's upon us, now it's really serious, and this isn't someone from your past who's just trying to get in while you're glowing up, go for it. But if this is just a ghost of the past standing in your way, standing in the way of what you really deserve, then walk past it. I feel like these pitfalls are only there if you want them to. Because you have so much good luck here. It's so obvious. And it's good love luck, which it's been a while. But this romantic scene is only possible if you allow it. And a lot of you may be thinking, well, what does that even mean if I allow it? Okay, well, let's use pictorial examples here of what I mean. This is not allowing it. As soon as you let go of, what is this? Living in the past. Regret over something that cannot be changed at all. This is the opposite of the serenity prayer. This is someone fretting over something that absolutely cannot be changed. Some would say not even time travel could change this, because you could go back to the time before the cups had spilled, but it doesn't mean they won't spill. So it's really useless. And right underneath it is some pretty stellar stuff. But again, it's coming to you. It's being offered to you. A lot of it. All over the place. Opportunity after opportunity. I mean, look. It's so positive. And it's all sitting right underneath this lesson. So if you're going nuts, going, but I need to make a decision. Well, I think you've already made these decisions. You know what's good for you and what's bad for you. You know that people consistently show you who they are over and over again. This person, they've shown you already who they are. Maybe it's time to do something that isn't a foregone conclusion, right? Maybe it's time to do something that you can't figure out in a second. Right? Maybe that would be fun, but how do you even get into that space of now where you're out there experiencing things and really living in your power and changing the dynamic around, the power dynamic? Feeling really good about you, your life, yourself, the kind of energy that really attracts people. Nine of Cups is attractive. King of Wands is attractive. The Emperor, very attractive. The Empress, very attractive. And then all that good luck sitting right under just this one card that is so heavy and so, well, for some of us, rules so much of our life. That should give you a moment of pause in and of itself. So many of us exhibit only the Five of Cups energy about certain aspects of our life. Oh, when I was young. Oh, when I was married. Oh, when I had that money or that job or that body or that. It's really the only negative thing I see here, because ultimately even the Five of Wands will feed you. I mean, look what comes right after it. But all of it is just dampened by lack of focus and lack of gratitude. Lack of focus on the right things and the ingratitude that it implies. So although you are showing up in your power, you are being advised at every turn, even if it is by your mistakes showing up, even if it is by you being forced into making really hard decisions about leaving people behind for your own personal power's sake. It doesn't have to be a love relationship, right? Like, we got to get better about that. Even when we do the readings, even when we talk about it, this is just the different energies that are playing out in your life. This could be your boss, right? This could be an old boss that wants you to come back to them, to their job, even though you know they're no good for you. This could be a bad friend who, circles back around because they need something again and you let them in. And then a few weeks in, you're back down here, like having lost all your power. And of course, when, like the I Ching says, when people and dogs are unclear about boundaries, they quarrel, right? It's your job to protect your boundaries. And if you're like, well, I don't have any boundaries, well, that's exactly why these people show up. So maybe it's time to make some. And what a good time to make some when you have all this love energy, right? Don't delay your good luck. Don't delay your power. Don't delay your contentment, your opportunity, your new situation. Don't delay it, because there's some sick pleasure in putting it off, because there's some strange fear underneath it all. That pleasure is fueled by the fear that maybe that thing will be real. And if it's real, then what does that mean? And what do I have to give up? And how much of my freedom do I have to trade for it? And maybe I should just, think about before. That's easy. But it's not easy, is it? Not at all. Not at all. The reason these flowers are interesting is because they'll bloom. There would be nothing interesting about a closed bud if it was just closed forever. Everything has a chance and is allowed, given the freedom to bloom, and so are you. But you are the one who has to give yourself that freedom. Astrologically, the doors are open for you. Go for it. Now, whether you make that into a dream or into a torment is up to you, because you know already what's underneath here. You know that once you get rid of this mindset, which remember is a combination of a lack of focus on the right things and ingratitude. And what do I mean by being ungrateful? I mean, you know, that you're like alive and like watching this video. That, I don't know, your ears work at least. And if your ears don't work and you're watching it closed caption, your eyes work, or vice versa. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's always something to be grateful for. So as soon as you remove this perhaps self-created obstacle, which is truly the only main obstacle, all the rest of it is just symptomatic of this, then the floodgates open, as it's already indicated that they will. Inshallah, you have that. But you must play a part in your own salvation now when it comes especially to love. Okay? Great. I'll be right back with your extended, okay? There's an Aries season guided meditation below, which you probably already heard because you watched the sun and the rising and the everything else because you've been waiting on this. It's worth it though, right? Hey, I love you. I'll see you in May. Early.